I did it. I completed the 2019 Inktober challenge. The prompt for day 25 is tasty, and of course I had to go with myself with all of my favorite Disney tasty treats. I tried to focus on either Mickey-shaped treats or iconic Disney snacks. So for instance, there is a Minnie-shaped caramel apple, there's the Mickey bar ice cream, and a Mickey-shaped Rice Krispie treat, but then I also have a Dole Whip and of course a popcorn bucket. And no list of Disney treats would be complete without a churro. This illustration ended up pretty simple, but I think it was kind of fun and cute. The prompt for day 26 is dark, so of course my mind went to my favorite dark ride at Disney, and that is Haunted Mansion. I love the big party scene where all the different ghosts are celebrating, and you've got all the dancers, you've got the guys on the chandelier, but my favorite is, of course, the girl that is blowing out her candles on her birthday cake. I'm not sure why, but my eye pretty much always goes to her during that whole scene, and I absolutely love her. My favorite part of this is definitely her hair. I love all the swoops and whirls, the little stacked buns of decreasing size. I just thought that was a lot of fun, but I also really liked drawing all the folds in the fabric of her dress. Again, overall, no masterpiece, but I think it turned out pretty cute. The 27th prompt is coat, so I went with Cruella de Vil. But of course I had to go with her as sort of a fancy, snazzy fashion illustration, so I sort of drew a younger, softer sort of version of Cruella de Vil. I tried to keep her basic aesthetic and design, but just sort of have a younger version of her that wasn't so hard and cruel. This one was overall pretty simple, but had a lot of detail and shading in that fur coat. Day 28 is Ride, and I decided to go with It's a Small World because that is such an iconic Disney attraction. But today really went to show you that not everything goes as well as planned when you're doing Inktober. I thought this one was going to be simple, quick, easy, and end up kind of cute, and it's okay, but it didn't really go the way I'd hoped. I've always loved the little can-can dancers in the France portion of It's a Small World, so I decided to go with one of them, and it's fine, but I think you're gonna have to be a pretty die-hard Disney fan to really get what this is about. At best, I think it just sort of ends up looking like some kind of weird, creepy little doll. I don't know. Not my favorite. It's fine. Whatever. Prompt 29 is Injured, and I went with a scene that injured not only the character in it, but also all of our hearts as small children. The death of Mufasa is pretty widely considered to be one of the most heartbreaking scenes of Disney, so it kind of made sense to work it in here, but it was still pretty sad. My favorite part of this illustration was definitely doing Mufasa's mane. I think it ended up very kind of fun and textured and a little majestic, so that was a lot of fun. Overall, I'm fairly happy with it. It's not the most complicated, but it's also not the simplest of the ones that I've done this year, but I just think it was a little different, not something that I typically draw. I don't draw a lot of animals in a sort of cartoony way like this, so it was fun and different for me. Day 30 is Catch, and I've decided to work a little more Marvel into my Inktober. So I've drawn Thor sort of mid-catch of his hammer. It sounded like a lot of fun in the beginning, but it definitely ended up very complicated in the end. I think this is the hardest one that I've done for Inktober this year, so it was definitely a challenge for me, but overall I'm pretty happy where it ended up. Maybe not the best resemblance to Chris, but I think you can definitely tell who the character is. And day 31 is our last prompt for Inktober 2019, and with Ripe I had to go with the Evil Queen. But I decided to draw her in her sort of hag old woman persona, but to sort of hint at her double life happening here, I drew the outline of her crown from her queen theme as sort of a background element. And to add a little extra darkness to the overall illustration to really get across that villainy. Again, not the most complex of my drawings for October, but I think it was definitely fun and it's recognizable as a character. And there you have it, 31 Disney-inspired ink illustrations in 31 days. Some of them are better than others, and none of them are exactly a masterpiece, but I did complete the challenge, which is better than I did last year, so I'm gonna call that a win. And the whole point of Inktober is to really stretch your artistic muscles, buckle down, and create something every day, really push yourself to make things. So I definitely think I did that, and I definitely think it was an extra challenge for me that I really appreciated, since ink is not exactly a preferred medium for me, so I'm really glad that I did it. Let me know down in the comments which was your favorite of my 2019 Inktober illustrations. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll subscribe and ring the little bell for notifications every time I upload a new video. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.